us, especially the fact that we had chances to make big stops late in the game and didn't get a stop when we needed one. Not just the last possession, but 4 or 5 of the last possessions of the game. The game was probably, I don't know if it was lost, but it was, we struggled offensively in the second half for a while. Guys, I thought, got a little tight, and we made some silly passes and had turnovers that led to fast break layups, and really that got them back in the game. And if we don't do that and make them score against our set defense, it's hard for them to make up 12 points. But the fast break layups off turnovers are they're devastating because it's so hard to score. We had a couple of transition situations ourselves, and we didn't do a good enough job on those. We missed some easy ones. To their credit, they had a couple guys step up and make big plays. Questions?
I guess when you talk about not making stops, you're most disappointed with the rebounds on the last possession there, both before the
one at the end of the game is hard. Brian did a good job defensively on him and challenged the shot, and it's one of those things where you're kind of like defending the shot, you turn around and you're so close to the basket that obviously he didn't block out, but it's, you're kind of just turning around and all of a sudden the ball's bouncing back and the guy's, he knows where it's going because he sees it and you don't, and so he just slips by and tips it in. It's really the other guys I don't think were involved. They were kind of all spread out guarding their guys, blocking out, and it happened to, unluckily for us, it bounced right back to the guy who probably was the only guy that could tip it in. And the ones before that, the one before that was the one that was disappointing, that we missed a block out and Rafa got the ball back. And, we really didn't give up very many offensive rebounds in the game. We did a pretty good job of that. They're a very good offensive rebounding team, but obviously the ones at the end were the backbreakers.
Any other questions? Were you more pleased, I guess, with the defensive effort tonight than you were maybe the other night, I guess?
First half we played well defensively, and we did not play well offensively the entire game in terms of, we're missing some shots. We had a lot of plays around the rim in the first half, big guys, Milt, Bobo especially, and look, 1 or 2 that those guys need to finish. We were better defensively though in the first half. Second half, the field goal percentage is a little misleading because of the fast break layups. Can't guard those. And but we didn't defend like we needed to. No, it was not any better because we didn't get stops late.
I guess you had some adversity back in December last year, but how do you get this team's confidence back with a couple of losses to a couple of major teams?
I don't know. You just got to get back in there and work. And those guys gotta dig deeper individually. They got to believe in themselves. They got to put in the time. I will say that our older players, their attention to detail hasn't been as good as it needs to be on some things, and that's got to improve. The margin for error is so small that physically, the teams we played the last 2 nights, if you line them up, our team and their team, there's not you wouldn't look at their team and our team if they changed jerseys and say, man, those guys there's any difference. I don't know if you pick them out. So then it comes down to execution, and it comes down to making plays. And offensively against Charleston, we were very good, and I thought they made some tough shots late in the clock. Tonight, we were not as good, and so we opened the door for them to come back. In fact, we pushed it wide open by giving them the turnovers, and then they were just good enough at the end of the game to make a couple big plays. And we missed a couple free throws late, had a couple shots that could have dropped to finish it. We actually scored several times in the last couple of minutes, but we didn't get stops, and that's really disappointing.
Is that what you say to your team after tonight?
Pretty
just
close.
challenge them to dig deeper individually?
Yeah, they got to continue to take initiative. It's their team first, It's their team, it's their season, it's their memories, their experience, and they've got to be the ones to really take ownership in it, and take leadership and direction. And, you know, when the players are doing that, your team is much better. When it's coach directed, it's not quite as good. And you see it late in games and in games when the players are rallying around each other and aren't maybe always looking over to the bench. When they think they've got it, they're confident enough in their abilities that they know they're going to make plays. Part of this is, hey, it's a process now. You got to remember the two guys that would have taken most of the shots late in games and done most of the damage, they're not here. And now other guys are being asked to do more, and their roles have changed late in games. And right now we just haven't quite been able to get it done.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.